Hello and welcome to La Rosa Reads. I'm Denise La Rosa, and today I want you to travel with me as I share with you my Portland, Oregon Powell's Bookstore book haul. Let's talk books. Yay! I love to travel and I love visiting bookstores wherever I travel. And this trip to Portland, Oregon was amazing. It was so wonderful to spend some quality time with family. My mother-in-law and father-in-law live in Portland, Oregon, and we had a great, fun-filled time. What I love so much about us as a family is that we have been a family for quite a while. My husband and I have been together for a total of 17 years, and my mother and father-in-law know their daughter-in-law through and through. They had up their sleeves a plan to take me to Powell's Bookstore. It is like one of the most famous independent bookstores on the West Coast. And I was so excited, like beside myself excited to venture over to Powell's. And it was a time to be had, y'all. I was just overwhelmed with excitement and all the emotions as we arrived at Powell's. The bookstore was just singing to me, calling to me while I saw the glass storefront. And then I entered what is known as the green room. And it was like totally warehouse vibes. I love the vibes of the bookstore because it was like a humongous several story high bookstore that made you feel like you could get any book you wanted and it would be right there at your fingertips, which is a great feeling for us book lovers. My husband was a gym and took our daughters, to the children's book area so that I could peruse the shelves on my own. Eventually, we met up at the brown room and traveled over to the graphic novel section, which was amazing. I don't usually go in that direction, but it was fun. We concluded our visit at Powell's at the coffee shop. I mean, books and coffee, hello. We went there so that I could kind of parse down my enormous load of books because my goal was to not have to mail books to myself. I wanted to be able to get everything into my carry-on luggage. And here we are. I purchased some merch, which as you can see, I got this t-shirt. I feel like this is going to be my thing. Whenever I go to bookstores, I tend to buy the t-shirt and the mug. And so I also have this cute mug, y'all. Like, look at this. I love cats, I love books, I love all the things that are on this mug. It's just so dear. So I purchased the mug, I purchased the shirt, I got some stickers and some bookmarks, but you didn't come to hear about those things. You came to hear about the books. So here we go. Faithful La Rosa Reads viewer, Sandra told me to get She and Her Cat. This is going to be a wonderful, exciting manga read for me. This will be my second manga, and it seems like a fun time. I love my cat. Rest in peace, Ailey. I love and miss you with all my heart. And for many, many years, it was me and my cat. So I can totally resonate with this cover. I just remember a time where I would be in those cozy positions with my lovely cat, Ailey. And yeah, so this is a woman who lives alone with her cat, and she navigates the world of adulthood by discovering both the freedom and loneliness that come with living independently. And the cat learns of the outside world through her owner's actions, or its owner's actions. Time drifts slowly for the woman and her cat, but the harsh realities of the world soon catch up. Oh my gosh. If this doesn't remind me of me and my cat, whew, tugging at the heartstrings already. And your girl has been doing a really good job of committing to and sticking to my commitment of reading 12 classics by 12 Black authors. I purchased 2 copies of the books that were on my TBR for that goal. And this one is All About Love, New Visions by Bell Hooks. I am embarrassed to say I have yet to read a Bell Hooks novel, and I feel like I could get my black card revoked for that one, and also my literary card. So, a little embarrassing, I know, but better late than never, friends. This is probably the first one of hers that really drew me in and caught my attention, and I knew it would be my first Bell Hooks read. So I'm so excited to read all about love. So Bell Hooks comes out fighting and on fire in All About Love. Here, at her most provocative and intensely personal, the renowned scholar, cultural critic, and feminist skewers our view of love as romance. In its place, she offers a provocative, or proactive rather, new ethic for a people in a society bereft with lovelessness. Wow. So as Bell Hooks uses her incisive mind and razor-sharp pen to explore the question, what is love? Her answers strike at both the mind and the heart. In 13 concise chapters, Hooks examines her own search for emotional connection and society's failure to provide a model for learning to love. Oh my. For such a time as this, friends, this book is definitely one that I'm excited to read. The second classic book that I picked up at Powell's is If Beale Street Could Talk by James Baldwin. I also want to read Giovanni's Room. I have so many James Baldwin books that I want to read. I've only read one of his books, so this will be my second, and I am so excited. It also is, there's a movie adaptation, I believe, floating around out there in the streaming world, and I would love to pair that up with this read. In this honest and stunning novel, James Baldwin has given America a moving story of love in the face of injustice. Told through the eyes of Tish, a 19-year-old girl in love with Fonnie, a young sculptor who is the father of her child, Baldwin's story mixes the sweet and the sad, as he so brilliantly did. And just, yeah. Tish and Fonnie have pledged to get married, but Fonnie is falsely accused of a terrible crime and imprisoned. Their family set out to clear his name, and as they face an uncertain future, the young lovers experience a kaleidoscope of emotions: affection, despair, and hope. What a love story. I cannot wait. I always say that, but for this one, y'all, I really, truly cannot wait to read If Beale Street Could Talk. So this book is totally a cover buy. I have seen this cover on many publications and social media channels, and I was saying to myself, I gotta have this book. I gotta have this book. Do I know what the book's about? Not really, but who cares when you have a cover that looks like this, y'all? Like, seriously. But I do know this is like a spin-off or an adaptation of, not the show Taxi, but maybe the movie Taxi Driver, I believe. And so Damani is tired. Her father just died on the job at a fast food joint, and now she lives paycheck to paycheck in a basement, caring for her mom and driving for an app that is constantly cutting her take. The city is roiling in protest. Everybody's in solidarity with somebody. But while she keeps hearing that they're fighting for change on behalf of a people like her, she literally can't afford to pay attention. Then she gives a ride to Jolene. Jolene seems like she could be the perfect girlfriend, and their chemistry is off the charts. And from there, it's wild. It's a wild one-sitting read, according to the synopsis, brimming with dark comedy and piercing social commentary, and announcing Priya Gunn's feverishly original voice. Your Driver is Waiting is a crackling send-up of our culture and modern alienation. Okay. I think we've got something going on here, so I'm glad I picked it up. Perhaps one of the best qualities, characteristics of Powell's is the way the store is organized. It's organized by colors, and so you have like the green room, the purple room, the red room, the brown room, and it's so logical and easy to navigate. I fell in love with that. I had no problems. I think I had to ask a bookseller for like directions with finding one book, but other than that, I could find everything and go to any section that I wanted to without asking for help. My favorite section of the entire store was a little tiny nook, and it was the dance section. So this was on the nonfiction floor, and in the sports subsection, and then a subsection known as dance. And I picked up in that area a book by Misty Copeland titled The Wind at My Back: Resilience, Grace, and Other Gifts from My Mentor, Raven Wilkinson. So I am a huge fan of Misty Copeland. As a former dancer, like, first of all, who isn't? And especially if you are a dancer or have danced, and especially if you're Black and a dancer, you should love Misty Copeland. You should celebrate her. But here's something that I love about Misty Copeland. As someone who got her degree in dance, my bachelor's degree, and studied the history and philosophy of dance, I am well aware of those pioneers who paved the way for Misty Copeland long before there was a Misty Copeland. Although she is a trendsetter, she is legendary in her own right and deserves her flowers. There were ballerinas like Raven Wilkinson who, if it were not for them existing, there wouldn't be a Misty Copeland. And so this book and giving Miss Wilkinson her flowers is just yet another reason why I love Misty Copeland. She's so humble, and I'm sure this book is full of words of wisdom. Watching Misty Copeland's documentary years ago where she had Raven Wilkinson walk into her apartment and chat it up, I remember thinking in that moment, wouldn't it be fun for Misty Copeland to write a book about her mentor? And here we are. So I could not resist this purchase. I am so excited to read it. And I just, as a dancer, really appreciate this. And it will take me back into some nostalgic moments, I'm sure. I won't be able to lift my leg too high, so it'll all be in my mind. But I ain't going to try to do none of the moves. Let's just leave that back in the early 2000s. Last but not least, this purchase was A. Marie's fault, y'all. And I ain't mad at her. I'm not mad about it either. And it's titled An Autobiography of Skin by Lakeisha Carr. This is A. Marie's March Book Club selection for A. Marie's Book Club. I knew I was going to purchase this book brand spanking new because the cover is just divine, y'all. I mean, the title, An Autobiography of Skin, seeing this figure in the flesh just is exquisite. It's beautiful. It's art at its finest. And so I wanted the cover. Like, I wanted to own this book. And I knew I was traveling to Portland and would be going to Powell's. So this was probably the only book that I went to the store knowing I would buy it. And I'm so excited. We have about a handful of women, I believe 4 or 5 women, Black women, I believe, but don't hold me to that. But these women are sharing their lives in these stories. And at some point, you will come to understand how these women's lives intersect and how they're interconnected. And I feel like we all are in some way, shape, or form. You know, there's that phrase, 6 degrees of separation. It's probably even fewer degrees than that. You will always find someone who knew someone that you knew that's connected to you. And I think that is exemplified, embodied in this book. And I don't really know too much else, but I love this description that this book is a dazzling and masterful portrait of interconnected generations in the South from a singular new voice, offering a raw and tender view into the interior lives of Black women. It is at once a powerful book or a powerful look at how experiences are carried inside the body, inside the flesh and skin, and a joyous testament to how healing can be found within in love, mercy, gratitude, and freedom. I am some pages into this already, and I'm telling you, it is dazzling indeed. And there you have it, my friends, my wonderful book haul from Powell's. How you like me now? Okay. So tell me, what's your favorite independent bookstore? Have you been to Powell's? I want to know all the things, so let's talk, friends, down in the comment section below. And if you want to see some of the other trips I've made to other independent bookstores, check out some of my past videos, including the one to Completely Booked and the one where I traveled to the Back Again bookshop in Myrtle Beach. And until next time, happy reading. Bye.